Welcome back to my channel, guys, and today we're going to start another series of lessons about practical research 1. Ako nga pala si Teacher Say, Secondary School Teacher 2 of Angeles City Senior High School ng Schools Division of Angeles City, and today we're going to discuss research, experience, and knowledge. So please join me on this video lesson and let's start. Okay, for today we're going to discuss research, experience, and knowledge. So the learning competency code is here, and I'm going to use a book entitled Practical Research for Senior High School 1 Qualitative by Dr. Nelia G. Prieto, Dr. Victoria C. Naval, and Dr. Teresita G. Harry. So the objectives of the lesson for today as follows: nature of inquiry, experience and knowledge, what is research, and why do research. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the following pictures here and write at the comment section down below what do the following pictures have in common. You may pause the video to write your answer in the comment section. So all of them are products of research, basically. So technology, communication, food, and medicine. So let's go to nature of research now. Lagi narinig natin is inquiry. Okay? Inquiry is always part of research. So what does inquiry means? It is seeking for truth, information, or knowledge. So if you want to learn something, you inquire. That is research already. If you want to be informed, you inquire. That is research also. And if you want to know the truth about a conspiracy or a chismis dyan sa labas, you inquire. And you are doing research already. In research, we are doing inquiry-based process wherein here are the steps. Okay, you select an appropriate question. Okay, once you have that appropriate question, that broad question, papaliitin natin into a specific question, which is formulation of the appropriate question. Because if you don't ask the correct answer if you don't ask the appropriate question, you cannot finish your research on time. Okay? Maraming hindi natatapos kasi napaka-broad ng kanilang tanong para sa research. So, you need to be specific on what you want to learn on your research. Then identify the key issues. What are the problems that is happening on the topic that you are going to study? Okay? Let's say, new normal of learning. What is the possible problem or issue that we can identify there? Number one of which that we can do is overwork students. Okay, bakit overwork ang mga estudyante? That's a good question already. Okay, then we search for valid and relevant evidences. Okay, we're not just looking at one-sided information. We need to look at the bigger picture. Okay, so we're going to look at related literatures about the government, how they do it. Okay, the different documents about what are the distributions, modalities, so on and so forth. Okay, another is interpret and assess of evidences. So, meron na tayo from the government, which is going to be accurate because those are documented. Then sa school, you may ask your school where you are enrolled on the data, on the modalities, kung paano nila distribute, paano ang application noon sa kanilang mga classes. Then, we go down to the students. Paano ba ginagawa ng mga students ang module? At bakit sila nagiging overwork? Okay, so, once we get the data, ilalatag natin yan. May ginawa ba si government? Yes or no? May ginawa ba si teacher? Yes or no? May ginawa ba si student? Yes or no? Ilalatag natin dyan. So, application of evidence to key issues. Overwork daw sa student. So, may binigay si government ng mga modules. Are those modules good enough yung number of activities or sobrang dami. Tag natin. Teachers, nagbibigay ba na additional projects, additional activities o hindi? Tatag nyo rin. Students, ginagawa ba on time or not yung activity? Or ginagawa ba at all? Like for example, pupunta na kasi tayo sa conclusion and final or tentative. Kasi rin. Okay? Let's say, the government gumawa siya ng maraming activities sa module. So, ibibigay lang ni teacher as it is. I-discuss, ipapagawa. Tendency, ang sagot ni student, overwork. Okay? That's one approach, which is true. Another is, may binigay, tama lang, ang number of activities. Si teacher sa tingin niya, kulang, nagpadagdag siya. The student, ginawa niya. Overwork pa rin si student. Yun yung sagot niya. So, probably there's a problem in between. Possible then, tama lang ang number of activities, konti lang, hindi na nagdagdag si teacher, ginawa ni student on time. So, bakit niya sinabing overwork siya? Let's go deeper there now. Or possible, another scenario is, konti lang activities, tama lang, hindi na nagbigay si teacher additional activities, pinagsabay-sabay ni student yung mga activities na yon. Sinabi niya, overwork. Now, with those given scenarios, na, for example, are your evidences, you can now create your conclusion. Okay? You can say na on the first scenario, overwork na yung mga students kasi ang dami pinapagawa ni national government as their modules. Second scenario, konti lang pinapagawa ng national government pero si teacher ang dami pinapagawa, overwork si student. Okay lang naman, hindi na nagpadagdag, overwork si student kasi marami siyang ginagawa sa bahay. For example, possible. Okay? Or, the last scenario is there's a problem with the student. Okay? I'm not generalizing this one, but these are the possible outcomes that you can get if you study about overworked students. And that is the second to the last part of inquiry-based process. Okay? And the last part is reflection on and assessment of the learning process. Ito lagi ang nakakalimutan ng mga researcher. Okay? Sabi nga nung trainer namin lagi sa division research trainings, we create research paper, we spend a lot of time, money, effort, sweat for those papers, present it, publish it, then put it on a shelf, and we forget about them. Okay? Unless there's someone who would research the same thing and reference you for that. Okay? Don't forget, as a researcher, you need to reflect ano ba ang natutunan mo dun sa research na ginawa mo. Okay? What are the changes that you can do based on the research paper that you have? Okay? Yung process sa paggawa mo. Another is, ano ba yung nagbago sa'yo after you learned something about your research paper? Okay? After this outcome came out. Okay? What happened to you? What reflections or what changed inside of you? What changed on your perspective on things? Okay? So, that is the inquiry-based process. Experience and knowledge. So, let's talk about knowledge first. So, knowledge basically is facts, information, and skills acquired through experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject according to Oxford Lexicon Dictionary. Okay? So, if we talk about knowledge, may experience at may education, please take note that those two work hand in hand most of the time. Okay? If you want to be efficient with your work, experience is not enough. Okay? This is very controversial thing kung tutuusin. Kasi, sabi nila, the more experience you gain, the better you are. But in reality, there are different approaches, different theories that can help you become better at your work if you have proper education. Like for example, carpentry. Okay? Marunong ka magtayo ng bahay. Basic shape ng bahay. Okay? Pero paano ka makakagawa ng napaka-complex na design ng bahay if you don't study architecture? Or simple na lang, carpentry sa Tesla. Okay? Paano ka makakagawa ng complex shape na upuan if by practice ka lang? There are theories behind that you cannot learn through experience alone. So you need to study those on a formal education. Okay? So you really need to spend time, okay? Invest para matuto ka. Okay? Invest on your education. Okay? Sabihin nila, education is very important. Okay? Marami ang nagsasabi na experience is the best teacher. Okay? That's true. That's true. But there are things that you can learn more that can help you become better you at your career. Okay? So you need to have experience and you need to have education at the same time. Okay? Because practical understanding is experience, but theoretical is more on the education side. So you really need to combine those two to have greater knowledge on things. Then, experience. It is a familiar and well-used source of knowledge. Remember that. Okay? Siyempre, maraming bagay na dumaan through experience. For example, ba't ka pa mag-aaral ng, ba't ka pa mag-enroll sa mga mamahaling coaching kung kaya mo naman mag-bike? Diba? If you really want to be a cyclist, an athlete, triathlete, or a sprinter in a team, or a climber on a team, you really need to apply for coaching. But if you're just a simple cyclist or commuter, experience is very basic. Okay? Kung natuto ka mag-bike on your own, that is experience already. And that's a good source of knowledge. Okay? But if you want to go up the mile, and be an athlete, you really need to have a formal education for that. And a formal education, coaching. Okay? Others will go on training programs and the like for that. Okay? Remember, it's not just limited on, I'll put it on a gamer's perspective. Okay? Diba sa games may mga skills tayo on our characters. So, hindi ibig sabihin na, let's put ourselves on a game. Let's say, you are in drawing. You have a drawing skill acquired. Through the years, nag-increase ang drawing skills mo. And you think you reach the level 50 of your drawing skills. Okay? And you think you're good already. Then you enroll on a school that offers drafting classes, that offers arts classes. Okay? Then you realize that your level 50 skill of drawing is not enough. Okay? Ibig sabihin nun is, there are things na hindi mo pa alam na matututunan mo lang through education. So experience is really good, but if you back it up with theories, then you will be better on what you are doing. So what is research now? You may post this video and put your answer in the comment section down below. So research, basically, it is a systematic investigation and study of materials and sources to establish facts and reach new conclusions according to Prieto, Naval, and Curry. Okay? So take note of the systematic investigation and study. Okay? In science, we have what we call scientific method. So we follow certain steps until we get to the conclusion of things. It's the same thing with research. Okay, you cannot jump on data gathering without looking at the evidences prior studies before. Okay, so you really need to take note of that. And according to Hampshire College, it is a process of systematic inquiry that entails collection of data. So after you study the prior knowledge, you really need to collect your data and form your conclusions based on those data or treated data. So what research holds the following significant data. So first is to gather necessary information. Okay? If you want to know something, you need to gather information. Okay? To make changes. Okay? Maraming bagay na nagbago sa paligid natin through research. In the past, we just send letters. But now, we just send personal messages directly to Facebook and someone will get it right away. What? Okay? Dati, ginagawa lang natin maglakad hanggang makapunta tayo from point A to point B. Now, we have different modes of transportation. It is based on research also. To improve the standard of living. Okay? In the past, bahay kubo lang. Ngayon, paiba-iba ang design ng bahay. Okay? In the past, air continuous or what we call open windows. Okay? Ngayon, we have different kinds of air conditioning na magpapalamig sa ating bahay. Okay? Even our cell phones, okay, are part of that improvement on standard of living. For a safer life, there are lots of medicines that are created through research. Okay? Security purposes also, VPN was part of a research regarding data security. Okay? CCTVs are also part of security based on a physical environment. Okay? Those are research products also. To know the truth. Okay, maraming conspiracies out there na hindi natin malalaman ang katotohanan unless we research about them. Okay? To explore history. Okay? There are things that we don't know about our history. Okay? Gaano ba kalaki ang sakop ng Pampanga dati? Most researchers are doing different archaeological findings through research na nagsabi malawak ang Pampanga in the past. Okay? Same goes with other regions. Marami nag-aaral tungkol sa nila. And to understand the truth. To understand art. Okay? What does this design mean? Bakit ganito? Bakit ganito ang style? Pinag-aaralan na rin yan through research. So, reasons for students to write research paper. So, number one, research teaches methods of discovery. I really like students who discover things on their own. They don't just accept what I'm telling them. Okay? Remember that not everything that your teacher tells you is always correct. You really need to verify them. You really need to research about them to say that those data are correct or not. Okay, so research teaches you different methods of discovery. Research teaches investigative skill. So when you discover something, you really need to investigate about it. Okay? So hindi lang basta-basta para ang pagkuha nyo ng data, ang pag-conclude nyo. So you really need to look at them deeper. Okay? Research teaches critical thinking. In reality, this is a big problem. Okay? Critical thinking is a 21st century skill that is overlooked most of the time by students. Okay? Why? Basically, ang ginagawa nila is accept what their teachers are telling them. They don't think deeper if that statement is correct or not. Okay? Critical thinking will help you with your decision making. Okay? Paano mo ba magagawa isang bagay na tama if you just look at it on a lighter insight? Okay? So you need to really analyze things. You really need to ask questions. You really need to interpret different data about those things that you want to decide on. Research teaches logic. Logic is how you think, okay, or how you solve a problem. Okay? The better your logic is, the most efficient it would be. Okay? The shorter your logic getting to a particular answer, the better it would be. Okay? But remember, you need to apply the prior skills that research has taught you to have a good logical thinking. Then research teaches the basic ingredient of argument. Remember, argument. Smart argument. It's not just about gusto mo lang makipag-debate dyan sa labas. But rather, let's say, sinabi ng kasama mo, bili ka ng ganito, makakatulong sa health mo, so on and so forth. For example, a food supplement. You research about it. Then, pagkakita mo, walang evidence. So, you can say to that person that this particular product that you're telling me is really not effective based on these evidences. Just like what Doc Adam is doing sa YouTube channel niya. Okay? Dinidebunk niya yung mga sinasabing effective at hindi. Okay? So, that is smart argument. Remember, doing research can help you become a smart debater. So, why do research now? Ang dami yung sabi, ba't di na lang tanggalin si research? Okay? Ba't di na lang tanggalin yan? Lalo na sa senior high school. Okay? So, the first thing why we do research is it makes you confident in your ability to find information and present it effectively in varied ways. Okay? Paano ka magiging good speaker if you don't have the correct information? Basically, okay? Sa aming mga teachers, if we prepare a lesson, that is already research. We're doing research. And how we will be applying it to our students, that is being improved. Okay? Naging confident kami kasi alam namin yung information na binibigay namin is tama. But again, just like what I mentioned to you, not everything is correct that na sinasabi namin. So, it's up to you if you will research it or not. Okay? Let's say, if you will present internationally, if you think you have false data, kakabahan ka. Okay? That's the problem with student researchers. Okay? Kinakabahan sila mag-present kasi sasabihin nila yung mga prof nila, ganito ganyan, mga teachers nila, matinik sa panel discussion. Okay? That's not true. It's a research presentation. Okay? Research presentation. And those panels will just point out saan kayo nagkamali, saan ang kulang nyo, saan and so forth. But if you think you are confident that your information is correct, that your research is correct, why would you be nervous? Okay? Yes, it's normal to be nervous in front of a crowd, but if you present correct things, why would you be nervous? Okay? Alam namin na mali-mali ang gawa ng mga estudyante kapag umarap sila sa amin at kinakabahan na. It's a sign na mali ang ginawa nila. Or they are not confident with the works that they are doing. Okay, so please, be confident with your work by simply doing it correctly. Research it correctly. Okay? You can get to investigate topics that may be of interest to you. Okay? So, ano ba ang gusto mo? Okay? So, if you are an IT, gusto mo ba is artificial intelligences? So, you study about artificial intelligence. The next is, it can make you study more meaningful and you'll discover real-world application of what you're studying. Okay? So, let's say, if you want to study about artificial intelligences, then you will see that AI or artificial intelligence is being used on different fields right now, and you can create different programs about this. Okay? That is research already. You can have hands-on or practical experience in your field of study. Just like sa amin sa IT, if you want to graduate your bachelor's degree or even your master's or doctorate degree, you really need to create a system. You need to create a capstone for this. And you will be hands-on on your field. So you will be creating a program, you will create a paper at the same time. Okay? So those are the things why we do research. Another, this is not on the PowerPoint already. If we stop researching, okay, if we don't do any researches, our civilization will not progress. We will not be where we are right now. Like for example, yung COVID na yan, okay? Kung tutuusin, we will not get to the point na may vaccine na if there are no research already. Okay? Another, that computer or cell phone that you're using right now, viewing this video, cannot be there if there is no research. Okay? So please, stop already proposing titles that will eventually say, stop doing research, because that is foolish. Okay? If you will stop research, then you stop the progression of the human society. That very simple. Okay? You stop research, you stop medicine progressing. You stop research, you stop technology from progressing. You stop research, you stop yourself from learning. That's simple. Okay? Gawin natin simple pa. Diba sabi natin, research is inquiry. Okay? Inquiring, nagtatanong. Then stop asking. What will happen to you? That's simple. Okay? So, if someone out there, or some of you, would think of a title na about stopping research in senior high school or stopping research for students, then think about this. Stop asking, and what will happen to you? Diba? Remember, research is inquiring. Inquiring is seeking or asking for truth. So if you say stop researching, then stop asking and think what will happen to you. Will you be stagnant or will you progress? Which of the two? Then forms of undergraduate research experiences. So we have 4. The one is class-based activity. These are just simple research assignments that you can do that your teachers are giving to you. Then class-based projects. Ito yung mga pinapagawa as a research paper ng mga teachers, ng mga students. Then capstone experiences. These are research and developments most of the time. Out of the class, student-faculty collaborative researches. These are researches where student and teachers collaborate, okay, to form research. Sa college and even in other countries, ginagawa to. Dito sa Philippines, hindi gaano. Okay? So, here's a question. Do we need to stop researching? Okay? You may post this video and write your answer on the comment section. Okay? For me, we don't need to stop researching. Because once we stop researching, we already admitted that we don't want to learn something new. Okay? Another, what will happen if we stop researching? Napakagandang tanong. What will happen if we will stop researching? Okay, you may write your answer in the comment section down below. Basically, for me, if we stop researching, we're already stagnant in knowledge. Last, remember, According to Wernher von Braun, okay, this is a very influential person in the past, especially in World War II. He created rockets for the Nazis. Ngayon, nung natalo ang Nazis, kinuha siya ng US and siya nag-develop ng mga rockets ng US. Research is what I'm doing when I don't know what I'm doing. Okay? Ulitin ko. Wernher von Braun, research is what I'm doing when I don't know what I'm doing. Tandaan nyo. Pag di nyo alam ang isang bagay, hindi nyo alam ang gagawin nyo, you research about it. And you will learn that thing na gusto nyo nalaman. Okay? Well, that's the end of our lesson. Hopefully, you learned something about research, and we'll see each other on our next video. See you again next time.